anything that anyone does in a historical context, this is a place we can begin our research.
A single point of contact for all, great research on the built environment here in Indiana.
Well, we are here in the Andrew Seager Archives of the Built Environment. This is a unit of the university libraries located here within the Estopinal College of Architecture and Planning.
It's really important to begin to use this to do any kind of historical research at all when you're thinking about a city or a neighborhood, an area, or a building itself.
The Seager Archives really traces its history back to the early days of the College of Architecture and Planning, and as early as the mid-1960s, the college actually began receiving gifts of architectural and landscape architectural records as a means to aid in the education of its students. It wasn't until 1978 that the archives were formally organized as we know it today, and that's due really in large part to the leadership of faculty members Michael Tomlin and Andrew Seager. In the early 1980s, when the architecture building was expanded, this space, room 120, became the permanent archival repository.
So the Seager Archives affects the community in many ways in regards to researching the built environment here in Muncie and beyond, really the state of Indiana. I know firsthand that documents here in the archives have been used to research buildings that perhaps needed rehabbing or updated in some fashion or were threatened in some way.
It's a treasure trove of wonderful drawings and actual physical models even, and documents that they can look at, pick up, handle, start to see, understand.
The Seager Archives also supports the professional research statewide, nationwide, and globally conducted by design practitioners, homeowners, business owners, and members of the general public.
There are two primary ways in which I think we assess this use of the facility. One is online, so a lot of the material they've been able to scan and put available for students to look at and to see via the digital media repository, and that's excellent.
Over 30 of our 80 collections have been either fully or partially digitized and are available to researchers anywhere in the world 24/7. If a student or a researcher wants to come and view the materials here in person, we are open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday throughout the academic year.
The archives have really benefited CAP by allowing students the ability to look at historic photographs, historic maps, historic documents, historic drawings, blueprints associated with historic buildings, and is a great asset for not just the students but the community at large.
Maybe looking at an adaptive reuse of an existing building, but to help to understand what it could become, you also need to understand what it was.
Exploring and understanding the built environment through the lens of history is imperative to understanding the built environment of the present, and our collections in the Seager Archives aid in that historical context.
Students from future architects to preservationists are going to have to interface with blueprints and other types of documents, so giving them the opportunity to actually physically handle documents is, I think, a really important skill.
At present, the Seager Archives stewards over 80 collections consisting of over 130,000 original architectural and design drawings, photographs, models, building remnants, trade publications, and photographs.
The process begins usually with the faculty, in this case myself, knowing what we're going to be researching or exploring or what we're going to be looking at. So when we looked at the Hoyt corridor over the summer, basically we defined an area where it would begin and where it would go to, and had identified significant buildings along the way or things that we might be interested in researching. I'd then send that archivist that information, say this is what we're looking at. They'd help us to pull it together and find the information that would be of use.
I'm hard-pressed to think of another location of material related to the built environment comparable to the Seager Archives in my work over the last 10 years. And as an educator, the Seager Archives is, I think, top-notch and one-of-a-kind asset in the state of Indiana, and we're fortunate to have it here at Ball State.